Hello and welcome to this presentation about the unique relationship between water and Ginjo-Sake in Hiroshima, Japan. Join us as we explore the fascinating world of sake brewing and how the soft water of Hiroshima plays a vital role in its production. With the help of our expert guide and sake specialist, we will take you on a journey through the region's distinctive terrain and explain how it shapes the flavors of local sake. Through digital 3D scans of the breweries, we will provide you with an inside look into the heart of the brewing process. By the end of this tour, you will have a better understanding of how sake is made and a newfound appreciation for the importance of water in the brewing process. So get ready to be inspired and experience the unique taste of Hiroshima's sake, and then immerse yourself in the local culture and cuisine. My name is Alex Bradshaw, and I'm originally from Sheffield in the UK. I came to Japan in 2005, and ever since I've been deeply interested in Japanese culture. While I may not be a sake expert, I'm excited to learn more about the local sake here in Hiroshima. I'll bring a visitor's perspective as I chat with our sake specialists, Yasuko and Shinichi. I'm here to provide information that will satisfy the interests of those with a deep knowledge of Japan. We'll explore the wonders of Ginjo-Sake, its background, and its origins here in Hiroshima. I'm excited to share my knowledge and insights with you, and I hope you'll come away from this feeling fulfilled and satisfied. First, let me introduce you to our fantastic guide, Yasuko. Originally from Hiroshima, Yasuko has traveled to nearly 100 countries and lived in France for 20 years, where she worked as a coordinator and interpreter guide. Since returning to her hometown in 2016, Yasuko has become one of the most highly rated tour guides in the prefecture, receiving top marks from foreign visitors for her warm and friendly approach to guiding. While Yasuko may not have the experience of a fully qualified sake sommelier, she's a huge fan of the drink and loves leading bar-hopping tours. Her ability to quickly connect with visitors and make them feel like they're exploring Hiroshima with a local friend is genuinely remarkable. I'm excited to experience Hiroshima with Yasuko as our guide today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Alex. What an honor. And I'm so happy to be here and to share my passion for Hiroshima. So I'm so thrilled to share everything with you, Alex. Thank you.
Okay, looking forward to it. Excellent. I love your shirt, by the way.
Yes, so I was born and raised in Hiroshima. So actually my DNA is deeply in Hiroshima. And then I'm wearing our Carp uniform. So Hiroshima #1.
That's the baseball team, right?
Yes,
Hiroshima
right.
Carp. Okay, next, let me introduce you to Shinichi, a true Hiroshima local with a passion for food and sake. Born and raised in Hiroshima, Shinichi has had his fair share of travels, from a year of exchange studies in France to a working holiday in New Zealand, and even a few months of wandering around Africa while making ramen. Shinichi has worked as a certified interpreter guide in French and English, all while helping out at his family's traditional noodle shop before diving into the world of sake. Over the past 3 years, he has gained knowledge about sake working at a local shop and obtaining certifications such as the International Kiki-Sake-shi and Sake Diploma certification. With his experience in the local food and beverage scene, Shinichi is dedicated to sharing Hiroshima's unique cuisine and sake culture with the world. Thank you for joining us, Shinichi.
Thanks, Alex, for a warm introduction.
Oh, you're welcome. You've had such an amazing adventure going to Africa and France and all over the world. So why did you get into sake when you came back to Hiroshima?
2 years ago, I started working at a sake restaurant in the big liquor shop. And then I tasted many kind of sake every day. And now I'm very sake lovers.
How about the sake qualifications you have? Were they difficult?
Getting a qualification is actually it's very hard because I have to learn about many methods of sake and history. It was little bit hard to get this license and qualification.
Excellent. Okay, well, we're very much looking forward to learning from you today and your expertise to find out more about the food and sake in this region. Next, let me introduce our fantastic location. This is Tsuka Sake Brewery, and it is located in the town of Akitsu in Higashi Hiroshima, facing the Seto Inland Sea. This area has long been an important hub for maritime traffic, and during the Edo period, the rice warehouse of the Hiroshima domain was located here. It's said that the Tsuka family made their living by shipping the clan's rice by boat, and the brewery was founded in 1848 at the end of the Edo period. Since then, for more than 170 years, the brewery has been producing sake that is rooted in the climate of Akitsu. Akitsu is renowned as the birthplace of Ginjo-Sake. At its peak during the Meiji era, there were more than 20 breweries, and it is also said to be the home of toji, having sent many famous toji or master brewers to various parts of the country. Another brewery in the Akitsu area is the Imada Sake Brewery, known for its unique brand of Ginjo-Sake, Fukucho. The brewery has preserved the traditional soft water brewing method passed down by the legendary Senzaburo Miura and uses the local Hiroshima sake rice called Hatanso to create a distinctive terroir sake that has won over the hearts of locals. Hatanso rice was once believed to be extinct, but the Imada Sake Brewery worked tirelessly to revive the strain, resulting in sake that boasts a mineral flavor and light acidity that perfectly complements the seafood delicacies from the Seto Inland Sea coast. Despite being a small brewery, Imada Sake Brewery has a global reputation and was among the first to export to the USA, Asia, and Europe. Miho, the president and master brewer, is at the forefront of the brewery's success, and her exceptional contributions to the industry have not gone unnoticed. In 2020, she was named one of the BBC's top 100 women, an incredible achievement for her and the brewery. So, whether you're a sake enthusiast or simply curious about Japanese culture, be sure to check out the Imada Sake Brewery and its exceptional Fukucho sake. In 1898, Senzaburo Miura, known as the father of Ginjo-Sake, developed a new brewing method using soft water. Through persistent experimentation and careful control of temperature and humidity, he perfected the soft water brewing technique. This new method was a significant improvement in the world of sake production and is still recognized as an important development in the industry today. At the first Japanese sake competition in 1907, the new Hiroshima Ginjo-Sake, made with Senzaburo Miura's soft water brewing method, dominated the top places. The top prize went to Fuji Sake Brewery in Akitsu's neighboring town of Takehara, while the second best went to Hayashi Sake Brewery on Kurahashi Island. Of course, Akitsu's Tsuka Sake Brewery also won an award with its flagship brand, Otafuku. Shizuhiko Kimura worked hard to expand the use of soft water brewing throughout the sake industry. In 1918, when most sake breweries were privately owned, Kimura made substantial investments to establish the Kamotsuru Brewery and Saijo Sake Brewing School to promote Miura's brewing methods and spread Ginjo-Sake around the world. Kiyoshi Hashizume devoted himself to training and raising the status of Ginjo-Sake brewers. As a brewing engineer, he also developed sake and contributed significantly to improving the quality of sake in Hiroshima. Mechanical engineer Riichi Satake invented Japan's first automatic rice polishing machine. He succeeded in mechanizing the polishing process required for Ginjo-Sake and supplied the first machine to the Kamotsu Brewery, contributing to the mass production of Ginjo-Sake. Okay, first let's find out a bit about sake itself and then the sake of Hiroshima as well. So what are some of the famous regions that produce sake in Japan and what makes them unique? Yasuko, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
In Japan, there are so many interesting variety of sake. Okay. But when they come to Hiroshima, they realize that there are many breweries here in Hiroshima. And the Hiroshima is so special, it's Ginjo-Shu. Okay. It's very soft, round, and like very fruity. So it's for them, it's a great discovery actually.
I see. So the sake here in Hiroshima is quite different to the other regions of Japan.
Yes, because of Ginjo-Shu.
I see.
And like you already mentioned about that thanks to Senzaburo Miura, it's really a birthplace of Ginjo. And then without him, the many sake could not exist.
So, Yasuko, can you tell us a bit more about the history of sake production in Hiroshima itself?
Hiroshima, what is the special is water. When I bring people to do a bar hopping, of course, I love bar hopping and then to introduce sake to visitors. But actually, they don't understand what is so special. So I started to talk about water because the water is actually very soft. And then the soft water is very difficult to make sake at that time. But now, due to the soft water, the Ginjo-Sake was born, and then it's very tasty. And also the fragrance is so nice. That's the most amazing things when I talk about Ginjo-Sake here in Hiroshima. And Hiroshima is more than 60 breweries.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
So the people here in Hiroshima changed the way of producing sake to use the soft water.
Yes.
And that made it floral and quite light
Yes.
to drink as well.
Yes, so and then it's a very good combination because Setouchi area, it's also famous, it's a fresh seafood.
Okay.
And then the oyster, that's a nice, in French, is mariage. Shinichi knows about a lot about pairing and also how to make this beautiful ginjoshu.
Okay, Shinichi, can you tell us a bit more about the sake of Hiroshima, in particular how ginjoshu is made? What's different about ginjoshu compared to other sake?
And in Hiroshima, there's many kind of sake brewers, and then also the most famous one is Ginjo. So Ginjo means using the high polishing rate rice and long fermentation and also low temperature. So it's a special method compared with another sake.
So did they start using this long fermentation process and polishing because of the soft water? Is that related?
Yeah, soft water. Soft water normally is not ideal for brewing sake.
Okay.
Because for fermentation, it needs minerals
Oh, I see.
like calcium or magnesium.
So did it take a long time for the brewers of Hiroshima to change their brewing methods to use soft water?
Yes, it takes 20 years for making the ideal method for with soft waters.
So 100 years ago, they spent around 20 years, creating this ginjoshu, but now it's famous all over Japan. Is that right?
Yeah, now it's the most famous method of Japan because it's very good, sometimes good quality. The ginjoshu is very popular in another country also.
For people whose image of sake is quite a strong drink, people think they're going to drink it and get really drunk. Is that the case or not? It doesn't sound like it.
Nowadays, it's getting different because for the people who start to discover the sake, to start with the ginjoshu, it's a good way to enter that world of sake.
Well, it sounds delicious, and I'm sure our viewers are getting thirsty just hearing about it. Can you explain why the water is so special in ginjoshu?
So did you know that 80% of sake is water?
Oh, really?
The water is a very important ingredient for brewing sake. When we talk about the terroir of sake, we have to talk about the water.
So is this some of the water that we have today? I heard that we'd brought some along. Is this the spring water from Hiroshima?
So seeing is believing, so drinking is believing, right?
Right,
so
okay. I like that. Drinking is believing.
Yes,
That's a
so
good...
how about drinking the very special water, Alex?
Sure, should we try some?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
not?
Okay, let's have a try. Oh, it's very soft, isn't it? It's very
Yes.
nice.
Soft.
Yeah. Oh, it's really nice. It's very interesting to say that terroir is from the water. It's something that you wouldn't imagine.
No.
But it's such an important ingredient in making the sake. It's fascinating to learn about the role of soft water in the birth of Ginjoshu and the perseverance of Hiroshima's sake brewers in finding ways to make good sake with it. It shows how important it is to work with nature rather than against it and find creative solutions to challenges. Sake production was adapted to use soft water using the way of thinking called Hyakushi Senkai, which refers to the continuous improvement processes that sake brewers go through to make delicious sake with soft water. To make good sake with soft water, brewers had to go through numerous experiments and try different methods to find the right combination of techniques. This included developing yeast strains suitable for soft water and fermenting the sake at low temperatures for more extended periods. Another vital factor was polishing the rice to a high degree to ensure that only the best part was used. All of these efforts together allowed brewers to create delicious sake with soft water, even though it was traditionally thought to be unsuitable for brewing.
Alex, so now you understand how good the water is. And then I cannot resist not showing this beautiful sake from Tsuka Shuzo.
Oh, wow.
It's otafuku. The otafuku is actually a very, I would say like a very lucky or lady. Otafuku is all the time smiley.
Yes.
So she can bring the happiness for you. I would say the literally is the, a lot of happiness. I would like to pour it for you. So please taste this otafuku sake. And actually it's the ninth generation. And he is the one who make this sake, made of this one. So this is very special. So this sake is unpasteurized. This one is not exported.
Unpasteurized sake, what's that in Japanese?
It is namashu. Namazake.
Namazake.
Okay, so here we go, Alex.
This looks delicious. I'm looking forward to having this.
All right.
There's a nice color on that as well.
Yes.
This smells amazing.
Yes.
Very, very nice. No, it's very light. I'm quite surprised actually. I would imagine it would have more of a kind of hit to it, but it's really easy to drink. What would you match this with? What would you pair it with for food?
Yeah, I think it's oyster also is good because a little bit sour, like in the wine.
Oysters are a specialty of the Hiroshima region, and there are many oyster farms where you can learn about the cultivation and harvesting process. When pairing oysters with wine, you usually choose a white wine that has high acidity. There are many types of sake that oysters can also be paired with, depending on the oyster's taste and texture. A dry and crisp sake like a ginjo or dai ginjo works well with a raw oyster, and for grilled or baked oyster, a more full-bodied and complex sake like jinmai or jinmai ginjo is a good choice. In Hiroshima, there are several tours that take you to local oyster farms and sake breweries. You can enjoy fresh oysters and sake right where they're produced, looking over the Seto Inland Sea. It's a great way to experience the local culture and flavors of this wonderful prefecture. Okay, so we're in the area of Akitsu at the moment, and this is where Ginjo-Sake was basically founded, right? Are there any other areas in Hiroshima that are particularly famous for sake?
Akitsu is the birth of Ginjo, but there's another brewery region, like Saijo, and also Kure. And then especially Saijo is the one of the top 3 brewery region in Japan, because in Saijo they found good water for brewing sake.
So when you have visitors coming to Hiroshima who are interested in sake and sake production, where would you take them? What kind of places would you take them to first?
Visitors come to Hiroshima, they just think about the Peace Memorial Park and the museum and Miyajima. But besides that, the nightlife is very important too in Hiroshima. So there are many bars and restaurants and even okonomiyaki. Do you know okonomiyaki in Hiroshima?
Yeah.
Actually, one of the breweries made a special sake. It's pairing for okonomiyaki.
Really? So if you go to Saijo, for example, from Hiroshima City, how long does it take to get there? And also, can you go and see some sake breweries if you want to visit Hiroshima Prefecture?
Sure, it's just around the corner. I would say it's less than or like 40 minutes, and you can actually from Hiroshima, the city, to go to Saijo, and then of course that you can visit different breweries, and also there are good restaurants, and then you can have a bishunabe.
Bishunabe. Okay.
It's a B means like beautiful.
Right.
And then shu is a sake. So beautiful sake pot.
Okay. And it's like a hot pot dish?
Yes, hot pot dish.
What's in it? Is it vegetables or
yes,
fish? Or?
The vegetables, and then you can choose, and you can sometimes have beef, or if you don't like, you have fish instead, and then pour the sake.
I see. Into the hot pot? Really?
Hot pot.
Oh, wow.
There are a variety of dishes in Higashi Hiroshima. And also over there, you can have a special sweets made sakekasu.
Shinichi, can you tell me what's sakekasu?
Sakekasu is the kind of mash of fermentation. The last process of brewing sake, they the press fermentation mashes and then squeeze the sake liquid. After squeeze the sake liquid, and then there's some mashes left. And then this is the sake kasu. Do you know amazake? Sake kasu is the base amazake. So we can use sake kasu for the sweets or sometimes for cuisine also.
Then the cosmetics nowadays.
Cosmetics, yeah.
Really?
Yes, the Toji-san brewers usually they deal with every day with the sake and the rice and water, so their skin are so beautiful.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. You said before that the water in Saijo was very good. They found some good water. Where does the water from Saijo come from? I imagine there's something special about the terrain that gives it this special water for sake brewing.
Yeah, Saijo has a special water. It came from Ryuozan. It's a kind of mountain, and then they found good quality water for brewing sake. The Saijo became the big region for brewing sake.
So let's take a look at the sake breweries in Saijo and see where the water is used, where the yeast is cultivated, where the rice is milled, and where the sake is fermented. You'll see the whole process of sake production and how it all comes together. Kamotsuru Brewery's Building 8 produces the flagship Gold Kamotsuru and Chō Toksen Tokuto Tokubetsu Honjōzō sake. The most essential steps in making Ginjo-Sake are making the moromi mash and the brewing process. The rice is washed, steamed, and sprinkled with koji fungi to propagate it. The resulting fermenting mass is called moromi. Control of moisture and temperature is essential. It is also vital to control the steamed rice so that it is not too hard or too soft, in order to ensure that the koji fungi can propagate all the way inside the rice grains. This process takes place on the second floor of Building 8. Another important aspect of Ginjo-Sake production is slow fermentation at low temperatures. Gold Kamotsuru, which is made in the brewing tanks on the first floor of Building 8, is fermented at a temperature of 12 degrees Celsius, down from the 15 degrees Celsius used for normal sake. The sake is then fermented slowly in tanks for 25 days, 4 to 5 days longer than normal sake. In this way, moisture control during the moromi mass making and temperature control during the fermentation process are very important for the production of Ginjo-Sake. If I'm a tourist, a traveler coming to Japan, and I want to visit Hiroshima and Saijo, for example, in particular, when's the best time to come?
If you are sake lovers, you should come in October. There is a big festival of sake.
Oh, wow.
So you can taste many kind of sake from all over Japan.
That sounds perfect for me.
Yeah, it's like an Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest,
in
but
German,
for sake.
yeah.
Kamotsuru is one of Japan's most renowned sake breweries. This place is famous for its founder's role in spreading the popularity of Ginjo-Sake across the country. With 4 kuras under its belt, each led by a toji or brewmaster, Kamotsuru's flagship Daiginjo is a must-try for any sake enthusiast. At the Kamotsuru History Museum, there are many exciting exhibits including historical documents, tools used in sake brewing, and videos about the brewing process. At the museum shop, you can find some limited edition sake that are unavailable anywhere else. They are definitely worth trying. So what else can we do around Saijo for visitors who want to look at the town? Is there something they can see there or something they can do?
Saijo itself is very interesting to visit. Not only that the sake breweries, from Saijo you can actually explore another nice city, Takehara. And Takehara is also famous for its sake. And then Takehara is like little Kyoto. So they really preserve that town. And then you can have the nice tourist ferry named Sea Supika.
The Sea Supika is a popular cruise that takes you through the Tseto Inland Sea, where you can see some of Japan's most beautiful islands and seascapes. You can also enjoy a sake tasting session on the boat while taking in the stunning views. So to me, it seems like there's an awful lot of things to drink, a lot of things to eat, and an awful lot of things to do as well.
Sure.
People can come here all year round, is that correct?
Whenever you want to come to Hiroshima, it's only any season is available. But if you would like to do a pairing with oyster and sake, please come to in wintertime.
So if people want to go bar hopping with you, is that possible?
Sure, why not?
Shinichi, if they want to go tasting and pairing food and sake with you, is that something they can do as well?
Yeah, sure. I can prepare many kind of sake for you, and then also good recommendation also.
So we've heard all about the delicious sake, food, and things to do here in Hiroshima. I hope that people have the chance to come over here and visit, and hopefully go on a bar hopping tour, or maybe even a tasting and pairing tour as well. So looking forward to seeing you visiting Hiroshima soon. Take care and goodbye.
Bye.